Welcome back to Pedal Paddle Pace, and this is an earth reset. The biggest scar on the UK's landscape. Healed? I don't know, we'll find out. But certainly a lot better than what was here before. Welcome back to the channel, I'm James, and this is Pedal Paddle Pace, where we use the outdoors for mental health resets and just really enjoying what we've got on our doorstep. I think we're guilty sometimes of wanting to jet away halfway around the world to find that exclusive beach, but when we look a bit closer to home, you can find some of the most amazing things here. Today, we're on top of one of Charles Jencks' is landscape art. If you caught the bonus video at Jupiter Artland, it's the same artist that did this. This was a scar on Scotland's landscape. It was the largest open cast mine in the whole UK. Unfortunately, it was one of those things that it never got finished. The funding unfortunately dried up, much like the rain today, thankfully. But we're going to have a little look around. This is St Ninian's open cast mine, and I believe locally they refer to this as the Walnut Whip. So this is Scotland's largest piece of artwork. It's 930 acres. It's bigger than 700 football pitches, and it's unfinished. It's abandoned right here. For 100 years, this corner of Fife was all about coal. Deep mines first, then open cast. They dug so big here they swallowed an entire village. Losody, gone. A young Sean Connery used to visit his grandparents here in the 1930s. St Ninian's open cast was running right into the 21st century when the machines finally stopped in 2013. They left a wound, a massive crater next to the M90, one of Scotland's busiest roads. So the question was, how do you heal 930 acres of scarred lands? Enter Charles Jencks, American architect, cultural theorist. He also did the garden of cosmic speculation, Croic multiverse in the Scottish borders. In all honesty, his plan here was wild though. Call it the Fife Earth Project or the Scottish world. The landforms, lochs, the boulders, they're meant to be a journey around 4 continents. Scotland in the middle, surrounded by geometric mounds representing every region Scots emigrated to. Europe, the Americas, Australia, India, China. The idea turned industrial spoil into art, healing the land by telling Scotland's story. So we're left with this. Half art, half ruin, post-industrial found art, as Jencks called it. tightrope? Maybe not. That's how accidents happen. So as you can probably see, you can take the path and keep going round. I like some folk take the shortcut. Don't know if I'd want to go down that one, so. I think Mama's looking after her nest somewhere. We'll not interrupt her. Let's move on. So we start climbing out of the depression that would have been the mine. There's still remnants where it would have been. There we go, we're on what would have been the old mine road. Imagine the amount of lorries that'd be coming down here, taking that coal away, taking it on to where it was needed. I don't know if it all stayed in Scotland or if it was used elsewhere. Obviously Fife's got a rich heritage in mining. I think every village that you go into in Fife will have a miner's welfare, and that was somewhere where the miners and their families could go. It was the hub of the community before. Sadly now, with the mining finished, it breaks down communities, it changes things. It's always the same. You forget to turn the camera on, and then you see an amazing bit of wildlife. So a buzzard just flew over the top of us. As I was saying before, Fife's got a rich history. Our mining interlinks with everything. It was a massive part for the community. That's what kept everybody together, I would say. In each of the towns that you go into in Fife, they'll all have swimming pools or baths, as they were called then. Give the miners a chance to get scrubbed up, but I reckon a lot of that coal dust was ingrained. You were never going to get it out no matter what. And so we arrive at Loch Fitty. Lovely bit of water. Was stocked previously. I think that's stopped now. But that's certainly still an amazing place for wildlife. Nice sometimes just to take the edge off and just sit. It's a fine day to be out. Well, compared to the weather we had last week anyway, a massive difference. And then if we just look over in the distance there, and there's Charles Jencks's Scottish history. You forget how prominent it is, you know, it's certainly, it's a massive installation. I don't know what you would call it. It's amazing how prominent it is when you're at this point here. You know, this would have been, open cast mining. It's amazing, just the peace and quiet now. If you could imagine 30, 40 years ago, it'd be a very different noise anyway. I've got swans nesting over there as well. All the signs are up. You really appreciate just the wildlife really when you get a chance. There's an abundance of it in Fife. Another one of the things we should be very thankful for. I hope you enjoy these videos. If you do, why not consider liking and subscribing? It goes a long way. Give me a comment, let me know where you might like to see next. Maybe you know a couple of hidden gems in the area that I'm not familiar with. We find ourselves coming back in a circle again. So Loch Fitty was actually stocked with trout, rainbow trout. There's perch in here, there's pike in here. And it was used for the miners. This was where the miners, I suppose, could get a bit of respite, come for a bit of fishing. And it was still stocked up until recent years. But apparently, there's about 300 years worth of coal sitting underneath the water. There was talk of draining it apparently at some point, but maybe they decided it wasn't going to be the easiest, as it were. I've been told that you can actually see the coal in the water, and there's oysters here as well. Freshwater oysters, I assume. And they're just filtering through on the water that's here. So it's Loch Fitty, but it served a purpose. They're keeping the miners entertained, maybe on their days off there. It seems to keep a lot of other people entertained now, with paddle boards and their fishing. So what we can see in front of us is the Fife Pilgrim Way marker. The Pilgrim Way, it's approximately 63 miles, I think it is, and it runs from either Couros or North Queensferry, taking you all the way up to St Andrews. The emblem or the logo that you can see there is actually taken from a pilgrim badge that was found in 1998, and I believe it dated back to the 1500s. We can break it down at the bottom or the right hand side as we're looking at it. We've got the Mark-Inch cross there. In the middle, we've got St Andrew, and he was bound to the cross rather than nailed to it. And then you can see the crown just to the left-hand side or to the top, and that crown just signifies the connection that Fife has had with royalty over the years. But that's the Fife Pilgrim Way. I've completed it myself with my wife. We did it over a few days with some camping in between. As I said, I walked the Pilgrim Way with my wife a few years ago. It's quite strange coming back along it on a bike. The bikes are good for covering distance. I suppose it's the reason that it was invented. But the walk, I don't know, it's for a journey that can take 45 minutes by car, or it can take a few days if you're walking. I can understand how the pilgrimage was. It cleanses your mind, it tires you out, it's that natural weariness, I suppose. It just, the amount of effort that goes into it. The pilgrims along the way were put up in hotels, hostels or pubs, you know, public houses. My wife and I had to carry our tent on our back, so we had a few extra supplies and things there as well. But I think the whole idea of pilgrimage, which many of the walks are based on, is just showing that you're ready to sacrifice your time and your effort to get to where you want to be. I think we will go up to St Andrews at some point, but for the moment, we've got another amazing view of Charles Jencks' vision there. I was just speaking with one of the chaps that was part of the fishery just in at Loch Fitty there, and he was explaining, you know, it was never quite completed. Well, imagine what it would have been if it were. We're down at Loch Thornton now. It's nowhere near Thornton. I don't know why it gets the name of that. Loch Fitty's the other one over on the other side. And they were supposed to represent the oceans that the Scottish people had travelled, you know, the migration out to the Americas, heading out to Australia, South Africa and the likes. Anywhere where there was work, I suppose. The Scots have always been, you know, at the forefront of a lot of technology, whether that be telecommunications or even mining. You know, we've been at it for hundreds of years here. Some of the first oils were actually extracted in Scotland as well. That's where we get our bings over in West Lothian from. I believe that it was called Johnny Gas possibly at the time. We can have a little look at them maybe on a next episode or a few after. If you like these types of videos, they are just resets. I enjoy making them, I'm not going to lie. It gets me outside, it lets me soak up a bit of sunshine, and hopefully it's entertaining for you as well. A like and a subscribe does go a long way. Why not a comment as well? It'd be nice to get a bit of communication and feedback from the viewers. Where do you like to go and heal? Where do you recharge your batteries? Where's your island, as we've said before? But this is Pedal Paddle Pace, and this has been St Ninian's opencast mine with Charles Jencks' vision of Scotland's story. Keep the batteries charged.